Hey, Shalom. First off, I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. I want to give a double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who has taught me this truth. I want to give a peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, who really teach this truth and risk their life to do so. This is going to be a quick video of of some of the examples of what men did to follow this truth and some of the trials. One of the trials. I have an example of one of the trials that could stand in the way of people or Israelite men coming into this truth. First example I want to get is Matthew 19, and I'll start at 16. It says, And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? So a man came to him and was like, hey, good master, talking to Yahushua, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? All right, what can I do so basically I can live forever, or have that basically have that trip, to dwell in the kingdom, really, you know. And Yahushua answered him, this is 17, it says, and he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? So Yahushua was humble, right? He said, Why callest thou me good? Why are you calling me good? Yahushua understood who he was in his past lives. He understood all things. He was wise, man. If you really think about his walk, he was really wise because he knew things that he knew who was around him at all times. Like even the lady at the well, if I'm not mistaken, he knew that she wasn't a Israelite, man. That's why he said salvation is of the Jews. When she was asking her questions. I think another example, or maybe it was the same example when he was like, go get your husband and I'll talk with him. Like basically, like, I don't want to talk with you. I think she said, I don't know if it was her. I think it was in that passage. I have to read into it again. But she was like, I don't have a husband. And he was like, I know, because you have had 3 or 4, one of the two numbers. But he knew basically what was going on with people around him. Look at Judas. So Yahushua understood everything, so you couldn't put nothing past him. He knew what you was on before you came up and talked to him. That's power. That's power to have. He was wise, man. He dwelt in the spirit. This is Matthew 19. It says, 17. It says, and he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is the Most High, Yahweh. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. Right. He said unto him, which Yahushua said, Thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Talking about your brother, right? That's in the law. This is 20. It says, and the young man said unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Right. So a young man was like, okay, well, I kept all those things from the time my youth up, my childhood up to being a man. I kept all these things. What do I lack? And Yahushua said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. All right, so he said, okay, if you be perfect, go sell what you got to the poor. Go ahead, go sell what you got to the poor, and follow me, do that. And then this is what the young man did. And the reason why I bring this out is because this could be things of the world, because riches are of the world. So the things of the world could be a stumbling block to some people before coming to the truth. And I can speak for myself. I had to I was at a job, and I'm in the same business, but I was at a job where at that moment I had talked to the one of the brothers, and he was like, "Hey man, you got to get out there to the camps, man. This was 2 years ago." He's like, "You got to get out there to the camps," and I was like, "Damn, my job is mandatory on Saturday. I mean, it's our busiest day on Saturday. You know, it's mandatory on Saturday. I got to be here." So I remember the night where I was like, "Man, fuck it. It is what it is. Like, I don't want to lose the job, but this truth is more important." So I went to one of my managers, and I told him what it was. I said, "Hey man, I got something I got to be doing Saturday, and I could work half day on Saturday, and I got to leave at a certain time on Saturday because I got things I got to do that's important than this, basically." And he was like, "Hey man, and you know what? I'll talk to the higher ups in the business for you, but you should be fine. You should be good to go." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I mean, Yahweh Shai made it a way to where I was able to get out there, man, and I stood out there until I crossed the line. And it's all beautiful, it's all spiritual. That's another conversation, but and I've been out there ever since, and Lord willing, Yahweh Shai willing, I'll keep going until the missiles drop, until Yahweh Shai crack them clouds, man. Because what we're doing, and I don't mean to ramble, but we're doing this for a purpose. We're doing this for salvation, man. And not only that, so we can live. I know brothers are tired of this shit, man. This shit is vexing, man. All this madness going on. I mean, we live in a world full of fucking demons, man. And you try to walk against the crowd, it's gonna be hard. Do this for the simplest terms, right? Next time you're in a public place or something like that, right, and everybody walking one way, walk the other way and see how hard. Walk the opposite way in the midst of the crowd and see how hard it is. That's what we're doing when you preach this truth in Babylon. That's literally what you're doing. But a lot of the things in the world could be a stumbling block, into a man, when coming into this truth. You tell a man, "Hey man, you can't smoke no more. You got to quit playing football. You got to quit playing basketball. You have to stop rapping. You got to stop getting lineups. You got to stop eating pork." And the nigga like, "Man, hell no, man." Like, hey, no, like he been seasoned in the bullshit for so long. He been seasoned in the bullshit for so long that anything other is unnatural to him. When really we're telling him to do the natural. It says, as I start back at 20, it says, "The young man said unto him, all these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet?" And Yahweh Shai said unto him, "If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven. And come and follow me." And Yahweh Shai wasn't lying, because we do lay our riches up in heaven. And this is 22. Look at this. "But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions." So he was rich. He had great possessions, man. And he went away sorrowful. Like, fuck. Man, I can't, damn, I can't do that. Like, no, I can't get, I can't give away my land or my gold, and, or whatever he had. He wasn't trying to, what? But you can also look at that as, I can't give away football. I can't give away rapping. I can't give away damn near my identity in this world to preach this. Man, no. No, I can't, I don't know when Yahweh Shai coming back, man. I could just do this you can't shortcut the truth, man. You cannot shortcut this. It's a grind each and every day, man. All you could do literally is pray and hope that the Most High Yahweh Shai got your best interest. And I've grown to realize that, I've grown to realize that, like, damn, like, you really ain't got no control what's going to happen to you. You really don't have no control what's going to happen to you in your walk, man, or in your life. You ain't got no control of that shit. So the only thing you can do is pray that the Most High direct your steps. And with that, that increases faith. You know, once you see Yahweh doing something good for you, like, okay, I got blessed with a woman, or I got blessed with a new job opportunity, or I got blessed with a new car, or I got blessed with a new house, or whatever. You know, I got blessed with the things of the worldly things, you know, to get me by, or to get me to get my mind off of the madness that's going on. You know, you just gotta hope that the most High have your best interest, man, and ultimately hope that you can make it on one of those chariots, man. And that's why we preach this message. That's why we do this. That's why I do this. That's why we go out on the highways and byways and risk our lives. And it's, you know, to risk we risk our lives, man. You know, I mean, I didn't had a couple altercations, you know, on the highways and byways where I could have got hurt, you know, or brothers could have got hurt, you know. But Yahweh Shai Yahweh delivered us, man, out of all things, man. Said we wasn't gonna be backed into a corner anymore, man. You know, I know they're gonna pick some of us off, the martyrs. You have martyrs in this thing, you know, but you know, you come back, one of them chariots, man, come down and you reign with Yahweh Shai. You know, it says, this is 23. It says, then say Yahweh Shai unto his disciples, verily, which means truly, I say unto you that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. Right, a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And I believe, you know, one of the reasons why it'd be hard for a rich man to enter into the kingdom is because if you just look at like the example of Lot's wife, right, and everything that they had in Sodom and Gomorrah, and she turned back for that, you know. So with that being said, it's gonna be hard for you to drop all that and walk forward and come into this truth, knowing you have to risk all. You have to put away all the shit that you have, most of the shit that you have. You know, in this passage with this, it says, and again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Now let me get this, all right, because I was reading this, and I always read this, but I was reading this before I did this video. Come on. All right. This is Hebrews 10. The point is in 34, but I want to start at 31 because it's all good. It says, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, but call to remembrance the former days in which, after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of afflictions, partly whilst ye were made a gazing stock both by reproaches and afflictions, and partly whilst ye became companions of them that were so used. For ye had compassions of me in my bonds, and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods. Right, that's what we do. Take joyfully the spoiling of our goods, knowing in yourselves that ye have in heaven a better and enduring substance. Cast not away therefore your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. Right. Cast not away your confidence, which has great recompense of reward. But if you start up, it says, knowing in yourselves that ye have in heaven a better and enduring substance. Yeah, so Yahushua said the same thing, basically. So the scriptures don't lie. You know, even, you know, Paul says, you know, the fashion of this world shall pass away. You know, the things that Yahushua said, that this was my world, basically my disciples will fight for me. But this is not. This world is literally the dwelling place of the wicked. You know, they do what they want here, man. Including our people. They do what the fuck they want to do here. And when they want to do it and how they want to do it with no remorse and no regret. That's a sin in the world. Live my life with no regrets. Yeah, right. You know, because you don't think you're going to be judged. You don't think you're going to be punished at the end of your walk. whether you were doing wickedly or whether you were doing righteously. There's no fear in our people. There's no fear in these heathens. There's no fear. So they don't give a fuck. This is Colossians 1. I started at 9. It says, "For this cause," I was reading this too, and I thought this would be good to. I thought this would be good to bring out. I mean, it comforted and it got me motivated in my spirit. So this is Colossians 1 and 9. It says, "For this cause we also, since the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you, and to desire that ye might be filled with the knowledge of his will in all wisdom and spiritual understanding, that ye might walk worthily of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of the Most High." And that's what it's about, right? Increasing, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of the Most High, strengthened with all might according to his glorious power unto all patience and long suffering with joyfulness, giving thanks unto the Father which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who hath delivered us from the power of darkness, right? Delivered, and that, one example of the power of darkness is this world. And hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son, which is Yahweh Shai, which Yahweh Shai spoke about. And that's why we try our best to do this walk in the right way, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. And only a remnant is going to have redemption and forgiveness with the blood. And that's the elect and the 1/3, which are going to be preaching and teaching this message, who is the image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature. For by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. Exactly. That's talking about Yahweh. So I just, I was getting that. I was reading that earlier, and I kind of wanted to tie that into the lesson. But the Spirit took me kind of in a different direction, but it still all went, with each other, and I want to tell brothers to keep going. Tell brothers to not stop, man, and regardless of the situation, regardless of what you might go through, because although it may look hard right now, in that end, we're gonna be glad that we stood up for the name Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. We're gonna be glad that we did all we can to preach that name because we believe. And with that, I want to say Shalom.